Les interviews du doc. C'est maintenant sur Vinyl Time.
Bah, les amis, voilà, c'est un grand plaisir. On va pouvoir discuter avec Harry Hess d'Harem Scarem qui nous fait le grand bonheur, le plaisir d'être avec nous ce soir pour parler de plein de choses. D'un nouvel album, d'un nouveau single, d'une tournée, d'un festival et pour la première fois Harem Scarem en France. Harry, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. It's a great pleasure, honor, everything around Harem Scarem to accept my invitation to speak about you, Pete, Harem Scarem, some show in France, new songs, all the carriers of Harry Scarem. Wow, it's a huge thank you, Harry.
Pleasure to be here, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. And like I was saying, you before we even started, we've never played in all the years we've been a band since the late '80s, early '90s, putting out records. We've never actually played in France, so this is a milestone for the band, and has literally been on our bucket list. Not joking. Pete and I have talked about this many times. We've said I can't believe we've never played France. So this is going to be on our bucket list for us. So absolutely thrilled to be doing this and looking forward to the show.
Uh, by the way, before we speak about the different concert with coming, because by the way, and by chance, a lot of people, not only in France, but around the France, in Belgium, Netherlands, and of course, Italy. You coming back with some good stuff, I'm pretty sure. As usual, I would like to say, maybe we can just open the doors about the new single with coming, because this is the first song since 5 years, reliving history. Wow, 5 years, it's so long, but I know that it's look like yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, look, it went by so fast, and when we released that record in 2020, that had already been finished for, I want to say 6 months, 8 months before the release date. So really, it does feel like we took a long break, but with COVID and everything that happened that derailed our touring plans, that's really what it was that took us out of our stride of making records, touring, writing, and then just staying with that cycle. So when we started having chats again about a potential release date, it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. So it wasn't until like last summer 2024 that we said, you know what, we're going to deliver a record by the end of the year. And we got serious about putting together our song ideas, started recording, and September, October, November, that's when we did the bulk of the work on this new record, mixed it in December, January, and here we are. It's all done, and it will be out April 25th.
Waouh, voilà, bah, que de bonnes infos, hein. Alors, comme je disais avec Harry, ça fait 5 ans qu'on entendait de la musique d'Harem Scarem depuis Change the World 2020. Alors, comme le dit Harry, ils ont beaucoup travaillé. Il y a eu cette histoire de Covid, bien sûr, vous l'avez compris. C'est difficile de prévoir quelque chose parce qu'il y avait la tournée, il n'y avait pas de tournée, il y avait le blocage, pas blocage, donc ils sont un peu arrêtés. Et puis, c'était bien aussi pour eux de ne pas faire le cycle. On enregistre, on tourne, on revient, on refait des clips. Là, ils ont tout travaillé. Ils ont travaillé entre septembre, octobre, novembre. Ils viennent de partager le premier extrait au mois de janvier. Et puis, il y aura d'autres titres, comme le dit Harry. Donc, on va profiter du nouvel album de Harem Scarem cette année. Voilà, il y a déjà ce premier titre qui est disponible, que vous avez écouté. Et on a pris beaucoup de bon plaisir à écouter ces bonnes chansons. Harry, this new song is exactly the sound of Harem Scarem. Because during this huge different configuration during this your project, the sound is sometimes different, or maybe you change some approach during year after year. It's not a melodic rock, sometimes it's modern rock. But by the way, this one is look like the melodic rock Harem Scarem that a lot of people waiting, and I think it's a first good one. I'm waiting the rest, but I would like to say, yeah, it's you coming back like a fresh band now. It look like that we're just after the mood swings or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, we've realized over the last, I'd say even 10 years of writing and making records again, that, we have a fan base that's built on our first record,
Yeah.
second record, those two records where people were introduced to Harem Scarem for the first time, and we've learned through traveling and meeting a lot of our fans that's what they know us for, and that's what they love about the band. And so, we're mindful of that, and we're thinking, well, we want to make records that our fans like. So we've learned not to stray too far from what it was that got us where we are today. And you know, we still have to like the songs. We still work on them the exact same way we always have from the beginning all the way up until now. We've got to feel like this is good material. We like it. We want to work on it, or it would never get finished. So we make ourselves happy first and foremost. But I think over the years we've learned what it is that is a Harem Scarem song, and what the formulas are between Pete's guitar playing and my singing and our writing together and us working together. That's a traditional Harem Scarem sound. So. Reliving history, I think, is a perfect example of something that could have been on our first record, and just as a melodic, hard rock song. It's not too far one way or the other. There are some other things on the record that I think are even more, I don't want to say stronger, but we thought Reliving History was a perfect teaser to, hey, here's a new record. Very familiar, but I think there's 4 or 5 like really great songs on this new record that are even stronger than that. So if you're liking what you're hearing now, I think you'll really like the record.
It's a really good teaser, hein.
Hopefully, yes, that was the plan.
Bah voilà, effectivement. Alors, pour ceux qui écoutaient le premier morceau, voilà, qui vient de sortir, il ressent vraiment, on le dit, et Harry le dit aussi, au début d'Harem Scarem en 91 exactement, avec Mood Swing. Voilà, ils ont beaucoup tourné, ils ont beaucoup écouté ce que disaient aussi les, euh, les fans, et puis ils se sont dit, bah oui, on doit peut-être revenir à ce que les fans aiment bien, et puis ils sont revenus donc à ce son mélodique rock, hard rock du début. Et effectivement, comme le dit Harry, on aurait pu avoir ce titre sur les 2 premiers albums, qui sont les 2 albums effectivement clés que beaucoup de monde parle, même si depuis des années, ils ont fait des bons albums, hein. On parlait de Change the World, on a parlé de United. Voilà, il y avait des sons, il y a une évolution du son, des idées, mais derrière, effectivement, bah, ils sont revenus à quelque chose de très bien. Et comme le dit Harry, c'est un très bon teaser pour la suite de l'album, avec peut-être 5, 6 très bonnes chansons. On a hâte d'écouter la suite, bien sûr. Harry, in meantime, you work a lot as a producer, so since a long time right now, because you create a lot of things with Pete on Harem Scarem, but you have your solo project. You work with so many people right now as a producer. Sometimes you help to singing someone. Where do you find this energy to have all the different things? Because sometimes you have to help someone. Maybe you have the singer or something. You have your solo project. Or you find all this reflection to build something, or maybe to help a new band to say, oh, I would like to work with Harry Hess as a producer. So what is this different kind of thinking that you have when you have to create something on Harem Scarem, on your solo project, or maybe help some new bands with coming?
It's actually easier working with other bands and artists. And as you said, I've done that ever since, even before I was in Harem Scarem. I had a little studio when I was, 14, 15 years old, and I've been recording other people ever since. But I was also a singer and a songwriter, and so had my own band and put together bands, obviously like Harem Scarem. But I've always loved being in the studio and making records, and Harem Scarem was one vehicle for me to do that, but also other artists were too. So at the end of the day, I love working with other people. It keeps it fresh, exciting, and you learn a lot, working with other artists, the way they write, the way they perform, in the studio, lots of techniques and things of that nature. So I still love it to this day, working with other artists.
Ah, voilà, alors comme vous le savez, Harry Hess, il a une grande capacité à créer des chansons avec Harem Scarem. Il est aussi un producteur. Il travaille dans des solo projets. Il le dit, c'est pour certes, c'est très facile parce qu'il adore ça depuis très très jeune. Vous avez compris, 13, 14, 15 ans. Et il a son propre studio. Et puis il adore travailler avec des gens parce que pour lui, c'est important de pouvoir partager, créer avec Harem Scarem, créer avec un autre groupe, créer ses propres sujets. Et vous l'avez compris, c'est un producteur fantastique et il fait des très très bonnes chansons. Moi, je vous recommande d'aller écouter aussi ses albums solo, ils sont très très bons. I just say to the listeners that maybe you have to listen some solo project of Harry Hess because you have a lot of good songs on it. So,
Thank you. Yeah.
um, Harry, maybe one thing regarding all these titles that you have write with Pete in RSKM, do you think one of the songs that you've create have not the chance that maybe it's a top of the song? Do you think one of these in your creation is not equal at what you have created since the beginning, and maybe you're thinking that one song of maybe in United or Change the World is one of the most songs that you have write together, but the people does not open mind or identify these songs. I don't know because it's maybe not an art song or maybe it's something that is disappear with the time.
Um, there were on our third record, I think there's a lot of material. Again, at the time when we did it, we really loved it. But in retrospect, looking back, I can see why fans didn't like some of the stuff. And I'm a pretty big critic of even our own material. So it surprises people when I say, oh, like the first record, I said maybe there's 3 or 4 good songs on it, or Mood Swings, probably same thing, 4 or 5 good songs on it, and the rest I just go, whatever. So there's always particular songs on each record where I think we hit the mark, and selfishly, I view those as victories if what we heard in our head came out. That doesn't necessarily mean anyone's going to like it, but our record making process is more of fulfilling that vision of where, we put out some records under the band name Rubber, where I don't think anybody liked it, but we liked it because we achieved a certain goal, like as far as the writing and the production of it. So we were proud of the record that we made, but also realized that a lot of people might not like it, if that's a weird answer. Yeah.
Bah voilà, vous l'avez compris. Alors la question c'était un petit peu, est-ce qu'il y a des chansons, des titres, des albums qu'il aurait aimé qui soient un peu plus mis devant? Alors comme il le dit, notamment sur le troisième album de Harem Scarem, il y a des choses, ils ont beaucoup travaillé. Il y a bien sûr, bah, comme à chaque fois qu'on sort un nouvel album, on est fier, on est heureux d'avoir sorti un nouvel album. Et puis derrière, bah effectivement, quand il arrive aux oreilles des gens qui écoutent, bah il est pas bon. Alors comme il le dit, bah des fois eux ils pensent que c'était super bien, comme le troisième album par exemple. Et puis derrière il dit, bah non, en fait les fans n'ont pas aimé. Alors bah voilà, donc ils ont continué quand même à sortir. Et puis comme il le dit, on peut pas jouer tout le temps que des titres du premier et du deuxième album. Il faut aussi ouvrir sur tous les albums et c'est très très important. Uh, Harry, when thinking, I just thinking about that, but Harem Scarem, this is in 2025. This is the 35 years of anniversary. It's look like
Yeah, I mean, look,
like
we
so
actually
long.
were a band in 1989, but our first record didn't come out until 91
Yeah.
because once we started, I think we are just writing and recording for the first 6 months. Then we started playing. So I'd say late 89 to 90. Like it felt like forever at the time. When you're 18, 19 years old, a year and a half feels like forever. But really, when I think, I go, wow, that happened quick, from becoming a band to getting a record deal, a major label deal, making that record, and then having it out by 91. So literally in 24 months, we had become a band, wrote and recorded that whole record, and it actually came out in that time. So it happened very quickly. So I guess, yeah, I mean, we're really getting up there, and as far as the years go. And I even made my first record when I was 15 years old. The drummer, Darren Smith, was actually in that band as well. It was a band called Blind Vengeance. and we were signed to an indie label here in Canada called Attic Records. And so now that I'm through, I think I've been at this now like 41 years. Now I'm 56. I'll be 57 this year. And so it's just shocking to think how long I've been doing this. I really should be more successful after 41 years of attempting to do something every day. It's shocking that I haven't done better. Yeah.
Bah voilà, hein, et les amis, Harem Scarem, ça va avoir 35 ans cette année. Comme le dit Harry, ils ont tout créé, le groupe, enregistré, sorti un premier album qui est quand même fantastique. Continué à jouer, comme le dit, il y a eu Darren Smith qui est venu aussi un peu là-dedans. Voilà, il y a eu plein de choses depuis. Et c'est vrai que maintenant, quand on s'arrête et qu'on se dit, ouais, le groupe va avoir 35 ans, c'est incroyable, c'est incroyable. Euh, Ari, I think we have to open a little bit the doors about the live session who is coming right now because you coming back with the band in April to start at the beginning. You have to move a lot of country, and of course you're coming back for two big show, and of course for all the big show. But I think we have to make a focus on the Frontiers Festival, who is coming back this year, and the Ch'ti Rock in France. So first of all, I think you are so happy to coming back in Frontiers Festival because it's a huge festival for the melodic fans everywhere. And I know that if the Frontiers restart the engine of this festival, I'm pretty sure a lot of people coming from all the global world. So I think what is your feeling about that? Because it's a new restart of Frontiers Festival. You coming back after so many years. You have some new stuff, and maybe you have some stress, no? Or maybe you have some pressure right now because a lot of people wants to see you maybe for the first time. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, when we talked to Frontiers about making this record, it came up right away that they were keeping it a secret at that point in the summer that they were going to revive the festival. And he said, "We really want you on this festival as well. So it's going to work out perfect with timing. You deliver the record at the end of December or January, and then we'll have you at the end of April to Italy for the festival." So we were like, "Yep, thumbs up, all good." And so we always knew that when we finished this, that would be kind of the opportunity for us to come back to Europe and do some touring. And like I mentioned earlier, coming to France for the first time is also going to be super cool and happening in that time period.
Mm. Bah voilà, alors on a ouvert la page bien sûr du Frontières Festival et du Ch'ti Rock, donc comme le dit Harry, ça va être le bon moment parce que le groupe vient de ressortir ce premier single, il y a l'album. Donc fin avril, ils sont en Europe pour plusieurs dates, hein. Il y a la date en Belgique, bien sûr, il y a des dates, je crois, en Angleterre, il y a quelques dates en Hollande. Et puis ils iront au Frontières Festival, vous l'avez compris, le Frontières Festival qui se relance avec notamment Harem Scarem, The Big Deal, enfin il y a plein de groupes qui reviennent et puis ils seront bien sûr en France pour la première fois et nous on a très grand plaisir à avoir pu accueillir bien sûr Harem Scarem en France et c'est toujours un grand plaisir de les voir. Harry, like I said at the beginning, I have a chance to see you many times, not in France of course, but most of the time was at Nottingham. and
Ah, I see.
And Nottingham was like the Frontiers Festival today, one of the most important festival for the melodic rocker everywhere. So I keep a memory each time because after the all these different show, we have the possibility to catch the band for signing session and so on at the hotel, and we pass a lot of time to discuss. And I remember that I speak a lot with Darren to have a lot of signers and so on. We speak about music, we speak about singing, drumming, and so on. What is for you as a band the most important right now? Because of course this is a new record who is coming, but in meantime you have a chance to play live in Europe. It's not so easy. I know that Europe it's not like your hometown because a lot of Japanese people waiting you right now. So do you think? You open the door for the European people, and maybe you have a chance to flying maybe to Japan because I know that the Japanese people waiting you since so many time right now.
Yeah, I mean, I stopped counting trips to Japan after 25. I literally, like, yeah. So It's almost been like a second home for Harem Scarem. We've been going over there since the early 90s as well. But, Europe obviously has been super important to us as well because not a lot of people know because we've just played in certain pockets of Europe that we've been coming to Europe ever since day one as well. So on the first album, I think our first European date ever was in Portugal. Um, I'm trying to think of I think it was on the first record or um, definitely by Mood Swings. Yeah, Mood Swings it was. Now I figured it out. On Mood Swings we came to Portugal and we've been coming to Europe ever since. But again, it's only in windows and typically we need a festival to kind of be the anchor show and then we do a bunch of shows surrounding a bigger festival. So that makes it possible for us to come all the way from Canada and make it viable for us to be in Europe for a period of time. So yeah, we're super looking forward to it. Look, once you finish the record, you want to go out and play it for people, and for us to actually meet the people that enjoy our music, it's a thrill, for us as much as anyone. So we're always looking forward to saying hello to fans and chatting and just having conversations.
Ah, voilà, vous l'avez compris. Alors nous, on est très content d'avoir le groupe en Europe. Je sais aussi que, comme on a discuté avec Harry, que les fans au Japon attendent aussi le groupe pour une nouvelle fois parce que, comme le dit Harry, le Japon c'est comme une deuxième maison pour eux. Ils y ont été beaucoup, beaucoup de fois. Et puis là, avec un nouvel album, je pense que les Japonais vont vouloir revoir Harem Scarem, Harry, Pete, Darren. Voilà, ça va être très important. Il va y avoir beaucoup de demandes, je pense, et je pense que ils auront, comme ils le disent, la possibilité d'y aller, pas seulement qu'au Portugal ou des choses comme ça, mais ça sera effectivement un bon moment pour ça. Harry, before we ending, I would like to speak about this Canadian mood because a lot of bands of the 80s, 19th is coming from Canada. I speak about Kikax, I speak about Coney Hatch, I speak about Harem Scarem. This is huge. As a fan of your country, I know that you have a lot of different bands like Tease, like some other things like this. And we have a lot of bandwidth coming from Canada. Where is coming this Canadian mood with this such music and melodic rock, hard rock? Because I'm a huge fan of Coney Hatch, I'm a huge fan of Kickaxe. Of course, I'm a huge fan of Harry Scarem. But where is coming this chemistry in your country when we have to share a lot of good music? What is the process, in fact?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because I think, when I came up, as a teenager in the, mid 80s or what have you, that music was on the radio here. So that was mainstream radio. So when you're talking about, Whitesnake, Def Leppard, Kiss, Coney Hatch, that was on the radio.
I
So
miss,
that was just,
and I miss Lee Aaron. I
yes,
miss Lee
yeah, Lee
Aaron.
Aaron as well. So look, over the years, I'm good friends with Andy Kern from Coney Hatch and Carl Dixon sang on our first record. And so I've known these people forever, and we used to, like when I was 15, 16 years old, playing in the band before Harem Scarum, opening up for Lee Aaron, Coney Hatch, and those types of bands. So yeah, I mean, we all know each other because Canada is a small country. The rock community is actually quite small, but it is shocking how many musicians come out of Canada and do well globally, even in the pop market. Like when you think of Bryan Adams, Shania Twain, the Guess Who,
Rush.
Rush, of course, Rush. It is incredible for the small population that we have, the musical output that we have, around the world. So yeah, I don't know. We've got nothing
Voilà.
better to do. It's always snowing here. It's shitty weather. There's nothing else to do but work on music.
Voilà. Vous l'avez compris, j'ai fait un petit ton un petit ton de boutade avec tous les groupes canadiens. On a parlé bien sûr de Rush, de Lee Aaron, du très grand groupe Coney Hatch, d'Harem Scarem, de Kikax, de Shania Twain. Voilà, Bryan Adams, bien sûr, tous ces artistes incroyables du Canada. Voilà, comme il le dit, comme c'est un petit pays, il y a beaucoup de rockers. Comme il neige en ce moment, il y a qu'un truc important, c'est de faire de la musique. Voilà, c'est un très bon précepte. Harry, thank you so much for your time this maybe morning for you evening for me. And by the way, do you have some words for the French listener for this new records and maybe for the Stirok? Because I think for us it's so funny that you came on this particular north of France for the festival for the first time, and I hope and I know that maybe it would be a lot of people coming to see you, to see Cassidy Paris and the Georgia Thunderbird, because this is a huge venue and a huge of different band with different words. So it would be, I think, a good day with a lot of music and fun.
Amazing. Well, look, I mean, like I said before, first time for us. So at this point in our lives, any firsts are going to be great, incredible memories. And all I can say is that after the show, come by, say hello. We'll sign anything, take some pictures. We love to meet all of our fans out there. And yeah, come by, say hello.
I think we have a lot of mood swing to be signed. Huh?
Sure. We will. Yeah, happy to do so. And by the way, we'll be playing lots of mood swings. So
Of
don't
course,
worry.
of course.
First record, second record, we've learned our lessons. Don't worry, we'll be playing those songs for everyone.